Hi, you guys. Remember the other day when we made gluten-free ladyfingers? Well, today I'm going to show you how to take those ladyfingers and make gluten-free tiramisu. That's right, this classic Italian dessert is going to be gluten-free. And if you've never had tiramisu, you are in for a real treat because it is so good, you guys. You will not believe how easy this is to put together. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the egg whites, whipping them in my stand mixer until soft peaks form before I add sugar in, granulated sugar. When I was researching how to make tiramisu, I found that the classic Italian method is to use eggs, and that's raw eggs, instead of cream. There are some other ingredients, of course, but there was never any cream in the traditional Italian tiramisu. So that's what I'm going for here. Now, in my recipe, which is linked below, I'll show you another alternative if you can't have raw eggs. So in the same bowl, we've transferred our egg whites to another bowl. And in this same bowl, I'm adding the egg yolks along with some more sugar. And we're going to whisk that up for about 2 to 3 minutes at a pretty high speed until a thick, very light, like lemon-colored ribbon drops from the whisk attachment. And I'll show you what I mean right here. See how light colored that is? And it's very, very thick. So when we pull up on the tines, you see how thick that is, and it forms like a ribbon that melts back into itself. That's exactly what you want. Now add the mascarpone along with some of just a little bit of the coffee or espresso and amaretto. You can use a different liqueur here, but if you like amaretto, it is so good in this. I would really, truly recommend it. So get this whisking as well on pretty high speed until everything is homogeneous and nice and smooth. By the way, as always, for this recipe, there is a link below. So anytime you want any of my recipes, I will always have a link on every one of my videos. So in a shallow bowl, add your espresso or very strong black coffee, along with the rest of the sugar and the rest of the amaretto, or other liqueur if that's what you're using. And stir this up with a spoon to dissolve the sugar before dipping your ladyfingers. But for now, we'll just set this aside and let it come to a room temperature or barely warm temperature. And we'll get started on combining our 2 egg mixtures. So just add a little bit, maybe about a third of the egg whites to the egg yolk mixture, just to lighten them, and then add the rest and fold it in completely. When you go to dip your ladyfingers, make sure to be quick about it. You don't want to really soak them. You just want to dunk them, because if you soak them, they are going to fall apart. We just want that dunk to get them a little bit wet and to get that wonderful coffee flavor and amaretto flavor. So line your pan. I'm using an 11 by 7 inch pan here. I had originally started with a 9 by 13 pan, but I found that it was too thin for me, too shallow of a dessert. I wanted a really thick layer of tiramisu, so I switched to the 11 by 7. You can use the 9 by 13, though, if you don't have a smaller pan. So we're just layering here half our cream mixture and then the final ladyfinger amount and the final amount of the cream mixture on top. And what I like to do when I'm adding this final amount, I'll take an offset spatula and spread it exactly to either edge to edge at the very top of the pan. Another thing that I learned when I first made this is when you're ready to serve it is when you should put the cocoa, dust the cocoa on. I would not do this ahead of time. I found that if you put the cocoa on ahead of time, you're going to start getting cracks in the top of the, like in the cocoa, which is just a presentation thing. If you don't care, it doesn't matter. It does not change the flavor of it at all. It doesn't change the texture or anything like that. But I would just wait to put the cocoa on until you are absolutely ready to serve it. And there you go. Soft, creamy, without any cream, traditional Italian tiramisu made gluten-free. Enjoy!